Okay, so American Born Chinese episode 4. Now, this was a very bizarre episode, and this whole show has been quite bizarre. Um, anyway, so because keep in mind, I know nothing about Chinese mythology, so I have no idea how accurate any of this is. So anyway, um it starts with Jin waking up to his alarm and just looking at this at his phone and at the golden cleats, which why? Because you have them in your possession now. But anyway, he suddenly notices the time and gets ready and runs out the door because he is late. His father is at the mirror practicing, I guess, a speech on to whomever is hiring for that position that used to be his boss's position because he's retiring or something. And his mom has this huge crate of, I guess, the herbs that she's been selling for that herbalist that she goes to. So they're both preoccupied, so they don't even pay attention to him. So he runs out, he gets to school, and he gets a hero's welcome, which that's not how school works. But anyway, everybody's just so thrilled and treating him like he did this most amazing thing. And I assume it's because he toilet papered a rival school rather than he won the golden cleats, because I'm sure that most people really don't care. But I haven't heard of a pep rally for a soccer team either. Football, yes, soccer, no. So, American football, that is. So, maybe that's just the equivalent. I don't know. But, he gets to his biology class, and the teacher's trying to calm everybody down, and I'm going to say on pretty good authority, the teacher has no clue why everyone's applauding Jin. So Amelia offers to be lab partners because suddenly Amelia is into Jin, I guess, because, he did this great thing. Teenagers are just so weird. And yes, I thought that when I was a teenager, so. And so she asked him, how did you do it? And he looks back and there's nobody in Wai Shen's chair. And he's obviously missing Wai Shen. Now, they took a picture, they took a selfie with each other and the toilet paper. So, what do you think happened? He got help. It's pretty obvious. Why do you think Wai Shen was there? But, he looks forlornly at the empty chair where Wai Shen used to sit. And so then we get to heaven, where Wai Shen is telling his father, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lose your staff, which I don't know if there was something lost in translation, but nobody means to lose something. I mean, that's just not what the word means. He didn't purposely ditch the staff. He said what the whole point of needing the staff was. So obviously he didn't do it on purpose. So that's the kind of response you give when you're really young and you don't realize that there's a difference between doing things on purpose and doing things on accident. So even though maybe Wai Shen, it looks like a teenager, he's actually much younger than that. I don't know. It just seemed bizarre. And then he says, his father tells him that, how he should react, how she should act. She's grounded for 200 years, and then they'll discuss what's happening. And Wei Shen says, I'm not you. I don't want to be you. And so then we go into this, basically a show within a show, where it's a flashback from the Monkey King's perspective, from to this him and his best friend, the Bull Demon, trying to get into this gala. And by the way, the producer, I think it was, of this show is the actual author of the American Born Chinese graphic novel. But so they're standing in line, and the Bull Demon doesn't seem to be very, they both want to get into this party, and the Bull Demon brought him as his +1, which we found out later. And Monkey King is trying to bring up the Bull Demon's confidence, so convinced that he will become the great sage, the next great sage. And the Bull Demon is not very confident. It seems like that's what this whole series is about, is confidence. The father getting the confidence to get a promotion and now to apply for his boss's job. Jin getting confidence to not follow the crowd and not try to hide who he really is, like he told his new friends that he's no longer into comics anymore, because, why would he want to do that? Even though one of them knew it and was perfectly fine. It's not like he was mocking him for it. He was just stating it. But Jin has this idea of what it means to be popular, because teenagers suck. Anyway, so they're in line, and they finally get to the front of the line, and he will let the Bull Demon in, but not the Monkey King, because he's just a monkey. Oh yes, I can smell your feet. You're not wearing shoes. So that was enough to prevent him from getting in. And the Bull Demon, bless his heart, he was like, okay, we're both leaving. The Bull Demon had absolutely no interest in going to this party, because they wouldn't let his best friend in with him. So it sounds like the Bull Demon was a really good friend. And they convinced the Monkey King uses his magic, and he uses it to make this never-ending drink, because even though the person, I think it was Zhigong, was trying to get in, they told him you can't bring your drink in. So even in heaven, that's a rule. You can't bring in your own drink. But anyway, so he kept refilling it. And these are all supposed to be gods and goddesses. These are not stupid. In theory, you would think that they'd be smart enough to sense magic. Like, oh, how did it get refilled? I thought it was empty. How did it refill? How did nobody guess that there was some magic afoot? Which which leads me to the same conclusion that the Monkey King comes to. But anyway, so they manage to get in because, of course, he finally falls over, passed out drunk. I assume he's just passed out drunk, not actually dead. And so they sneak in, and Wukong's whole purpose of being there is to get the bull demon to become the great sage. He's so confident that this is the bull demon's destiny. So he decides that he's going to do whatever it takes. And but the bull demon meets a girl. So, and it's obvious that they're taken by each other. But Wukong has no time for this. He wants to help the bull demon become the great sage. So they find the fish. It didn't occur to me until I saw him who they were referring to as the fish, and it's the Dragon King. Cool. So, but yeah, I could see that he didn't look like a dragon. He did look more like a fish. But so the bull demon, Wukong tries so hard to get the bull demon to show himself to be useful and to be helpful, and the bull demon does everything wrong. Like, here's water, I'll sprinkle it on you, when it's the toilet. So, poor guy. So, he leaves, he's totally ashamed. But Wukong doesn't stop. He's positive that he should become the great sage. And he kind of steals the Dragon King's iron staff. Because, how is it that these people are supposed to be heavenly beings? How is it that nobody's noticing strange things afoot? But anyway, so they go to the main stage after all the awards have been given out. Quainan was adorable. She's like, you need to stop giving me this award. No, seriously, you need to stop. And she's, I think, the only one that we know of that we've seen previously who won an award. So, oh my lord. So then there is the, I guess, entertainment portion, and the entertainment is just falling flat. And even the husband and wife MCs, that's like, what the hell? It's like, oh, I never loved you, I'm in love with your sister. And your sister's like, okay, time for me to leave now. I mean, what? What kind of joke was that? But anyway. So then he tries to convince the bull demon, pushes the bull demon to the stage, and he starts singing this strange song that they were singing in line. Well, Wukong was singing in line. And after that, and after he's pushed off the stage, it's time for the eating of the Great Peach by the Dragon King. So they prepare everything, only to be interrupted by Wukong. Wukong basically calls them all out, saying that they're fakes and phonies, and these are not, and just keeps insulting them until he destroys the Great Peach. And when he first did it, and Dragon King said, I've been waiting 10,000 years for that. I thought he meant to eat the peach. But no, it was to have someone call out this whole shebang. And he's just thrilled that Wukong told people the truth, and a truth that he also believed in, but for some reason never had the guts to tell people to their face as to how pretentious everything is. So he decides to make Wukong the great sage. And everybody notices that he has the iron staff, but it doesn't occur to anyone how, they just wonder how there can be two iron staffs, but they don't bother to consider the fact that, oh, maybe he stole it. It's just, come on. And all the bull demon wanted to do was impress people with there being about the different scrolls and talking about how anything can be a scroll, which is obviously foreshadowing for today, because indeed he is now looking for the fourth scroll. And considering Secret Invasion and scrolls are coming, I just find this absolutely hilarious that we're dealing with a fourth scroll, which could be anything, and we're about to deal with scrolls who could look like anyone. So, anyway. So he suddenly is being celebrated for being the new great sage because he was willing to call out the bullshit that is this evening. And so everybody pays attention to him and completely forgets about the bull demon. Which, of course, he's upset, which, yeah, you can't blame him. This whole turn of events seems to have gone to Wukong's head. It could be that, or, Wukong doesn't know how to deal with this either, because, he wasn't expecting this. So he finally gets back, and he's like, where were you? Why weren't you with everyone? And, they end up fighting. They end up fighting because first the bull demon accuses him of, ditching him, which, what exactly was he supposed to do exactly? And, talking about how, no, that's what you want, this is what you wanted, I don't know who I am, you know who you are, and I'm not you. And Wukong started up being defensive. He was like trying to smooth things over. He doesn't want to lose his friend, but he just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And so you end up digging in your heels. And so you end up saying things you probably wouldn't be saying, but you were so mad at the other person. And you're digging in your heels like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Which technically Wukong didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to get the bull demon because he was confident the bull demon should be the great sage. He was trying to push him into something the bull demon wasn't ready for. But it's not that he had nefarious purposes. It's not like he was trying to do anything to hurt him, even though he did end up embarrassing him. But it's really hard when someone who doesn't have the confidence that the other person has, and they're being pushed to do something they don't feel comfortable doing because, their friend just won't say no. So I could see how that could be annoying and how that could get, and especially considering how things ended up, I could see how he could be rather unhappy and rather pissed at Wukong, but then again, what is Wukong supposed to do? He's done everything he could to try to help his friend, and you can only help them so much. So, on the one hand, I understand Bull Demon. If you don't have that confidence, you shouldn't be pushed into something you're not ready for. But at the same time, you can't fault him for having that confidence to tell off a bunch of people and end up as the great sage. You just can't do that. That's not how things work. I do understand why he felt used. I do understand that, but if you think of it, and considering this was 1,000 years ago, at what point are you going to realize that, oh, this wasn't done on purpose? And it looks like he and the princess are going to get together, or at least spend more time, because she did offer to have to come to her place, so she'll show him around, that sort of thing. So the flashback ends, and so now we know a bit more as to why the Bull Demon and the Monkey King don't seem to like each other very much. And that's because at one point they were best friends and things just went to shit. So, we get back to present day after we hear the Bull Demon say, I'm I'm not like you and I don't want to be you. So we get back to present day, and Wei Shen was going to accept his punishment, and Wukong's like, you know what? You do you. You think you know what you're doing? Go back down and do it. And he gives the name of Ji Gong to as someone he should go visit to try to find the fourth scroll. And so he goes back happy, and he finds Jin. Jin is going on the bus because apparently they're going to a game. And Wei Shen says hi to him, and Jin is happy to see him because, he hadn't seen him in a while. And he's like, oh yeah, my dad took me home. And I just love it how this conversation took place. Jin knows what home is. Nobody else does. So it sounds completely normal, except if you knew what home was. And he's like, yeah, he took me home, but it was only a day, so I'm back now. And it's like, but it's been a month, which surprises Wei Shen, but it really shouldn't. I mean, we're talking about immortal beings. So, yeah, of course, if they're immortal, um, a day to them is going to feel like a month to everybody else because, well, they don't live for thousands of years. I mean, even though Wei Shen is very young, he's a teenager, do we know how old he is in human years? So, yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But so he goes on to, you could see that Jin was hesitating. He wants to go on the bus because, it's a game, but at the same time he wanted to find out from Wei Shen what the hell is going on. So, hopefully next episode we'll find out from Wei Shen what's going on, and we already know Jin is going to help him, but we'll find out more about this fourth scroll, and hopefully we'll find out more about where to find it and how to defeat the Bull Demon, and get his father's staff back. Let's see if there's anything else from this episode I'm missing. I don't believe I'm missing anything. But this was a nice respite for the main actors, the actors who play Wei Shen and Jin, to basically have an episode off because it revolved around his his father and the bull demon. So, it was mostly those two, their episode. Um I think that's all I have for this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.